I have to apologize to you guys because I'm not really used to multi-scale guitars, but this one is not that uncomfortable at all, actually. I'm getting used to it quite fast. So let's talk about some functionality stuff. In terms of the actual color of the finish of this guitar, it's glorious. As you can see in camera B, it is absolutely fantastic. It's a wonderful looking guitar because, I mean, come on, it's an Explorer, an 8-string Fanford Explorer. The neck carve on this guitar is fantastic. Utilizing Wenge and maple like this, it looks amazing. Look at that in camera. Just look at it. It's freaking like chocolate with other kinds of chocolate in it. It's fantastic, and it feels like wood, of course. The stability of this guitar's tuning machines is something that really stood out to me. The hip shot guys up here, really good choice. I don't know if that was a customer preference or otherwise, but it's really glorious. And the fact that the guitar neck is kind of tapered to be played and not like a baseball bat feels incredible, because some 8 strings really do feel like
we're gonna just put this baseball for the neck, all right? Just gonna remove some of that radius.
It's not the case with this guy. Another clearly fantastic thing is the fretwork. The fretwork is like, it beats so many others in the same price range. This is great work and I'm very impressed. The tone, now let's get into that. Alright, so as you can tell, it's a death metal, heavy metal machine. I will say this about the pickups. They are made by Fast Guitars themselves. And while they are actually pretty good and have pretty solid note separation, I feel like they're a little bit lower output than they should be. And it is hard to get that kind of clear sound with an 8-string guitar's tone because of the nature of this low F sharp here. So I have to say it's a very good effort. I think he's very well on the way to perfecting his pickups. I just think that they need to be a little bit hotter or something like that. It's just like almost there. That's the feeling I have with the bridge pickup. For the neck pickup, it's definitely creamy. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Sings really well. There's a certain like resonance within the guitar anyway, because it is such a beast of a guitar. The whole thing resonates a lot, of course. I mean, it's very live sounding. The whole thing moves a lot in your hands just because of the nature of how big it is, and that's what I love about big guitars, frankly. I love it. So the neck pickup is quite creamy, and it's still like, I still feel like it's a lower output pickup. I think that if these were raised a little bit, maybe then it would work out to be more my kind of spec. Now for a couple of other things, this cutaway just simply isn't deep enough for me to reach the highest frets. And that's unfortunate because I really wanted to reach that 24th fret just to be able to say I can. And it's like I literally have to angle my hand over the bevel, and that's never gonna work live. I would imagine playing live this would not be, you just can't do it. And some people will be like, well, you're not even going to play those frets. Well, I play those frets because I like to play up here all the time, actually. So it was the first thing that I noticed was that this beveling here, it's as if it needs another carve just for the hand. But again, this is the first, or maybe the second of the first 2 F8 Endeavors that Kevin Fast from Fast Guitars has made. So obviously there's going to be a design, there's going to be a bit of a curve to learning how to make this design perfected. The other thing is that some of you might notice that the overall body binding fades into this bevel here, and at least from the pictures that I've taken, maybe some of you know it, maybe some of you don't, it's actually perfectly smooth. It doesn't look like the most gorgeous thing in the world, but it's actually perfectly smooth, so it doesn't really bother me. From an aesthetic point of view, I don't really care or notice it very much at all. So for me, it's a quite a good thing to have that be smooth. A lot of people don't do binding right either, and it's kind of like, come on, you guys are charging $2-3 grand. Like, I've seen $2,000 or $3,000 guitars. The binding is not right, and that's abhorrent for that price. If anything, you can take away that Fast Guitars is building some very good instruments and very stable. This neck is not moving at all. Vancouver's weather has been very humid, very weird, windy, sunny, and this guitar is just staying in tune, and I love that about it. My great friend Andrew Baina, he is an Dorsey, I believe, from Fast Guitars, and he has got the other one of these Endevers, and I'm going to be checking that out tomorrow at a really big hangout, and I'm sure that it's going to be the same kind of deal with the overall playability, because they seem to be very consistent. As I've played Andrew Baina's other Fast guitar, it's a Jazzmaster style guitar, and that was an 8-string with a fan fret, and that was just as playable and fantastic. It didn't have this bevel issue, but it was very, very similar and just overall solid feel. So I definitely recommend you check out their Facebook page. I believe it's just Fast Guitars after the facebook.com part. And I'm going to play some lead stuff now, and we'll continue from there. I have to reiterate, it's actually for the frets that you can play, which sounds kind of cruel, but for the frets that you can play, the guitar is fantastic. It's immaculate. It's so fresh. It's so interesting for me to play a guitar that's been built so recently, and it's just a dream. It's fantastic. I really, really love the shape. As you can see in camera B, this is one of the meanest and most badass 8-strings I think someone could get these days. I had a lot of friends come over the other day, and they all were very excited to try this guitar out. It really does play as good as it looks, they said, and I agree with them. It's a really, really nicely made instrument that didn't take 3 or 4 years to make. Kevin Fast is doing great work these days, and I highly recommend you check out his Facebook page. That's basically it. The only other thing is the back. You have to look at the back. Camera B is just guitar porn all day with Camera B. This guitar is a beast. Look at this fretboard. It's pale moon ebony. It's glorious. The paint job, it is fantastic. So be sure to check them out. I'm gonna play myself out. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you for checking it out. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you like this video. I want to play some more heavy riffs.
Thank you.